Today's Sabbath school lesson is called America and Babylon. The memory text for today is found in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. Would anyone please volunteer to read Daniel 12:1? Today's title again is called America and Babylon. Think about that. Just in the title, there's a lot of meaning. I will ask you, what does it mean to you, the title itself? Okay, go ahead, Jody. And please use the wireless mics. Roger, please help around passing wireless mics.
At that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince will stand, watch over the sons of your people, and they shall be a time of trouble, such as never was, since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time your people shall be delivered, every one who is found written in the book.
Amen. At that time, your people shall be delivered, everyone who is found written in what book? Book of Life. Is there a book called the Book of Life in heaven? Do you think there's an actual book with pages? What do you all think? If it is written in the Bible, I'm sure there is something like that. Let's not try to, second guess what is written, what is revealed in the Word of God. So, we all are subject to this reality, which is what? Being judged. Last week we talked about end-time deceptions, right? This week it is, in a way, a continuation of what that end-time deception will be. So let's focus on the title. Actually, this week's lesson study, Sabbath school lesson study, has a lot of great information for us to understand. And for the world to understand. There is no way to ignore this. America and Babylon. What does it say to you? America and Babylon. Does it mean anything?
Confusion.
There's great significance in the title itself. What does it mean to you? Have you thought about this? Have you studied this yourself during the week? And even if you didn't study, that's okay. Let's reflect on this. What is the meaning of America and Babylon? Roger, in one short sentence, what can you say? What does it mean? So what? America and Babylon, so what? Anyone? Yes, Sister Bernadette, you were saying something.
No, I was just thinking that Babylon, America is like a beast.
Okay, the lesson study talks about America as one beast, yes. What else? What kind of beast? Of course, we'll come to that. The challenge we have before us is to give a witness to the world in ways that they can understand. To the world that may not pay attention to the Bible. To a world where, what is the world all about? When you go out and go into the streets and whatnot, everyone is busy trying to make a life. Sometimes you wonder, how are you going to witness to them? So we should be able to witness in ways that are very effective, but also concise. You may not have 5 minutes to talk about. Mary said she witnessed to somebody, to a pest control guy who came back yesterday. So I learned something from her. I would do that. I would let him mind his business, and I would mind my business. And she basically said, so we can learn from that. That's called witnessing.
And then these days you have to think about witnessing through technology, because a lot of people, they are all into their cell phones and
okay, to technology, we'll figure that out. It plays a great role. But do you know technology yourself, the use of technology?
But those who know,
Please use your wireless.
those who, I like to think, just simple phone.
Yeah, like you're sending me, WhatsApp messages, have a great Sabbath. Yeah, that's a great way to witness. Yeah. Mary said that she talked to this pest control guy who came to give a report, evaluation about, what the cost would be to, do some pest control. And so basically in her interaction, she heard from him that he really doesn't care about the Bible. All he cares about is be good to your neighbor as you're good to yourself. That's it. And then she told me many things as to how she counteracted that. If somebody says that, then what? What do you want to say? Just be good to others and be good to your family. And that's it. Is that enough? Okay? So, we have to learn how to witness to people in very difficult and challenging circumstances. So, here is the title, American Babylon. Who is this message for? If I ask you, how are you going to witness to somebody about American Babylon, what are you going to say? Let's say you have only, 2 minutes. How are you going to witness? So let's get into the lesson, right? Roger tells me sometimes I'm deviating too much. I will take his counsel suggestion as in a good way, to mean that we really need to focus, and especially this week, there's a lot to focus on. And unfortunately we don't have much time. But American Babylon, where is American Babylon talked about? What are the connections? What are these entities? What are these beasts? Okay, I'll break it down, okay? Babylon. What animal is represented by Babylon? Lion, right? And when was it in the world's history? When was Babylon? In terms of, significant time period. When was it in existence? It's called the Neo-Babylon Empire. With Nebuchadnezzar and all that. When did they come into play? The very first beast. The very first kingdom. Not that we don't know that there are other kingdoms, but this was a kingdom that played a major role in prophecy. And what is Babylon known for? Can anyone give a quick responses? What is Babylon known? It is the first kingdom, represented by lion. What else?
Strong.
It is strong, head of gold. What else? What is Babylon known for in the Bible? That which took God's people captive. Who was in captivity during the Babylonian time? Daniel, So, the book of Daniel was written where? In Babylon, right? Am I wrong? So, Babylon is also known for what else? Pride. When King Nebuchadnezzar became proud, what happened? God had to humble him, right? What else happened in Babylonian time, or rather in that area? Before Babylon, what happened? What preceded Babylon? Babel, right? What about Babel? And what is Babylon anyway? It was a city built by who? Nimrod. Who's Nimrod? Grandson of Noah. Son of Ham. Or is it Ham or whatever? Okay? Either Ham or it is Ham, definitely, that one. Okay? So, Babylon was known for what? The Tower of Babel, based on what? They decided to build a tower that would reach above the clouds so that they will not drown. Remember, the history of Babylon, Babel, why it came to be. They all decided to do what? Defy God. By depending on their own building, they wanted to. And then what happened?
Confusion.
So now do you know why there's confusion? Why there's so many languages? We don't always, relate to one another. We are all different in many different ways. But thank God if we can, we are all on the same page. And anywhere you go, there's confusion here also. So where do we need to see to get clarity? Where? Bible, Genesis, Revelation, Daniel, right? So Daniel wrote about what? He wrote about Babylon and also, what does the Bible word say here? Scripture 12:1. He also talks about what? End time. If you read the whole lesson report, what it talks about? Revelation 13. What is in Revelation 13? How many of us know what is in Revelation 13? I actually read it this week, so now I know. I can say I really know more than before. So American Babylon simply means what? The beginning and the end. America will come when? In the last days. America is known as a beast that came from the land, which will get enormous amounts of power. Right? So now you understand when we say American Babylon, what it really means? What is the connection? The first empire and the last empire. And what is Babylon known also for? Worship of idols, false worship, confusion, right? All these many tongues, many confusion that came about because of defying God, because of trying to worship yourself instead of God. You know, how do we worship God? By putting Him first, which means what? We do what He says. When He says scatter around the world, then we have to scatter. Don't build a building for yourself. The same thing applied to the children of Israel. What did the children of Israel do? Why were they taken captive by Babylonians?
They refused to speak God's word.
What's God's word?
They refused to speak about God's love to the nations.
Okay, you said to the nations. The message of God, the purpose of God is to what? Go into the whole world and tell the good news of God, how God says, how God blesses, how He will save us from our sins, not just save us from our immediate enemies like Romans or whoever. Right? Did the children of Israel get that? Unfortunately not. And what happened in the end? They were taken captive. And so Daniel writes this great prophecy about the end time events, which feature what? Many beasts. One of them is America. What other beasts can we think about? If you read the... Let's go to Sunday's lesson. Okay? I gave a rough outline about what American Babylon is all about. Do we understand now? What is it about? Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the first empire and the last empire, and it all has to do with what?
Worship.
True worship. When Daniel and his friends were asked to bow down to the golden image, what was it all about? Worship. Right worship versus wrong worship. You know, worshiping yourself, your image versus in God we trust. Can we say that? In God we trust is not simply a nice slogan that is on the dollar bill. That has a real, why is it that in God we trust is on a dollar bill? What did I say? What did we read about today? The mission report. The hole in our souls cannot be filled with gold. Only God. So, there was this longing, even though it was misplaced, I would say, there is longing that God is the one who can truly, fulfill or understand or rescue us from all our problems. Do we still have problems here, even though there's so much gold around to go? We're all chasing gold, right? In a way, we're worshiping that. And would we ever come to a situation where, money can solve all the problems? Why not? What's the problem with money solving all the problems? It cannot solve the problem of greed, pride, sickness, death, violence to one another, telling lies. Money cannot solve the problem. What will solve the problem? What has to come first? Morality comes from where? Through understanding the true source of morality, which is who? God. Okay, so Sunday's lesson talks about a deadly wound being healed. Okay, that's found in Revelation 13. Revelation 13 talks about two kinds of beasts at least. You know what they are? If anybody asks you, what are the two kinds of beasts in Revelation? What are the first beasts? The sea beast we talked about. The Roman Catholic or the Roman pagan, whatever, that's the first beast. It has a history of the Roman Catholic Church. There are very nice people there, no doubt. All churches have God's people in it. Okay, God's people are everywhere, in every church. And so, in this lesson, it talks about what? Ultimately, God's people have to come out of what? Confusion, false worship. So, the deadly wound was healed. The history of that is what? Now, we understood what American Babylon means, right? Did you understand? The first empire and the last empire. All has to do with what? Worship. Right worship and false worship. Now let's focus on how the false worship came into being. In AD 38, if you read this, you will know. The papal Roman Catholic Church, they got started. And they had their reign in Europe and let's say in the world, who knows. Until what time? 1798, when the deadly wound happened. That means, according to history, what happened to the Catholic Church? They were supreme, kings of Europe and all, they were all, in a way, controlled by this church, called the Catholic Church. Why do you think there was a Reformation? To protest the views of the Catholic Church, right? It was persecuting the saints, it was doing a lot of things. So, in 1798, if at all you don't know anything, what do you think happened? The Pope was taken captive by a French emperor or something. It's all there. Right, he was taken captive, and it talks about before that, for centuries the Roman Church had been the central religion and in many ways the political center of the Western world. A telling example of her power is seen in the story of the Holy Roman Emperor Henry IV, who upon angering Pope Gregory VII came to the Pope's castle to make peace. Who went where? Henry. Okay? Roman Emperor Henry went to make peace with who? With the Pope, Pope Gregory VII. Okay, and he was made to stand 3 days in the court before he entertained him. And then what happened? 3 days later, the Pope granted him entrance, and Gregory VII, elated with his triumph, which is the Pope, boasted that it was his duty to put down the pride of kings. Okay? So the Roman Catholic Church at one time had this much power to control the kings and all this, But later on, what happens? One of the popes, Pius VI, actually had been taken captive by the French army in 1798 and died in exile in 1799. Okay? So what happened in 1798 and 1799? In 1798, what happened? The Pope was taken captive at that time, Pius VI, and then he died in jail in France. So at the same time, what happened? (1798). United States rising up from nowhere. Okay? It's Monday's lesson. It talks about the United States in prophecy. It's all in Revelation 13. And so the deadly wound was healed, which is this Roman Catholic Church, which had this enormous power. Later on, but who comes into, another beast comes into play. Who's this? I just told you. Who's that? There's a deadly wound that is inflicted on who? Roman Catholic Church in 1798. And then what happens at the same time? America rises. Okay? Lamb-like beast. It's not really a lamb-like beast, it's like lamb-like horn beast. In Revelation 13:11, you read that. Many times I used to think that it's a lamb-like beast, but it's actually simply a beast with lamb-like horns, 2 horns. Okay, let's talk about the United States. Briefly, because we don't have much time. What is known by the United States? About the United States? It has 2 horns. What are the 2 horns that, what are representing, what is the meaning of 2 horns? What does the first horn represents?
Religious freedom.
State. The other horn? Church. Okay? Freedom of religion and civil liberties. Any other thing you can think of? These 2 things? It's all about freedom. But there are 2 different kinds. State and church, okay? And the separation of state and church. That means the state cannot influence or rather dictate how the state is run. The church cannot do that and the state cannot do that either. So, do you understand what the two horns mean? What else can you think of? Two horns. Lamb-like horns. And before we talk about that, the book of Daniel has a clear prophecy about the beast, okay? That got its deadly wound, and it was predicted very clearly in Daniel that the papal system of worship will reign supreme for how many days? 3.5 weeks, okay? That translates to 1260 years. That you can count that from AD 38 all the way to 1798. It fits the prophecy exactly. And it talks about this particular beast having how many horns? Or what kind of characteristics? It has the characteristic of a leopard, a lion, and a bear. The lion represents what? The lion represents what? Babylon, right? What does the bear represent? Medo Persia. What does the leopard represent? Greece. And so this Roman Catholic beast, or rather this, sorry, I'm putting it that way, has the characteristics of a lion, leopard, and a bear, and it also has 10 horns. Read for yourself. If you don't understand these things, what will happen? We read last week. You can be deceived. You have something to say, Roger?
That will be,
Huh?
we will be horribly deceived.
Yeah, all because of bad information, because you didn't read for yourself. Amen? Okay, we'll try to conclude here quickly because we'll try to end at 12:30.
Before you do that,
Yeah.
let's come to the present time of Christians and how they are and how they behave. Most Christians today will come to a church, but during the week, they're actually interested in accumulation.
Out of knowledge.
No, not of knowledge. They are interested in accumulation of money.
Exactly.
You can talk to anybody. This problem is huge in the Adventist church.
Yeah, there's a consequence to it, right? What is
No,
we just talked about?
they're not interested in the consequence.
Right.
No.
I know, they're not, so, but there's consequence.
Yeah, there is consequence. The consequence is that
You're going to be lost.
there is disruption in families because of greed. You are not talking about the coming of Christ, but you're talking about what I want to do 50
Coming
years,
up everything else.
50 years from now, where I want to be.
Right.
And it's very sad, but I was just
That's a reality. So that's a challenge as to how to witness to a world that is so busy, preoccupied with money and other things, right?
I was a very quick example.
Yes.
I was speaking to a young pastor. I said, look, I want you to try this experiment. When you get time to speak, and you know somebody who is poor, who needs money, who needs food, who needs clothes, who needs shoes, I want you to ask the congregation, here is the plate. I know somebody who needs this. I said, I want you to see how many people will actually put in money to help that person. He said, I know what you're talking. It's the same thing in every church. We are interested in self. That is why God says, I will throw you out of my mouth. That's the worst thing you can hear from a universal God who knows you, who gave you this breath of life, and who gave you the capacity to live for Him. That is why there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. It's actually more of a mental process, but it will become a physical process too.
Yes. So, yeah, thank you. So basically, what the lesson is all about is what? One thing. we are talking about this, which is about worship, true worship and false worship. And false worship can result because of what? Not studying, not knowing for yourself. You're just so busy with everything else.
Self.
Exactly, self, just like what you said. So, the United States is mentioned in prophecy, especially in Revelation 13:11, as doing what? I'll try to summarize this real quick. Ultimately, what will the United States do? This country that's known for freedom of religion, freedom of, and then with rights, and then state and church and state being separated and all that. Ultimately, what will happen? This beast, it will change, and it will give power to who? The deadly, the other beast that came before it, which was healed. And that's how the deadly wound will be healed, and it will become an issue of worship. So let us read for ourselves, and of course in the lesson it also talks about a scarlet-like beast, okay, and also a woman. Okay, there's some great things mentioned here, the comparison of two different kinds of women, and so the pure woman and the harlot is mentioned, which is riding this other beast, scarlet-like beast, which is what? A union of church and state. Okay, there is one, that's the harlot. And there's the pure woman. What are the points that we can remember here? What is the pure woman? Characteristics. Pure woman is in heaven, whereas the harlot is on the waters. It's on Revelation 12 and 17. Revelation chapter 12 and chapter 17. The pure woman is clothed with the sun. Who's the pure woman we are talking about here? It's the church, the body of Christ, right? Starting with you. You are the church. And then the harlot is referred to as clothed in purple and scarlet. The pure woman is having a crown of 12 stars. Harlot has adorned with gold, gems, and pearls. The pure woman is attacked by the dragon. Is there in Revelation 13, right? Here's the pages of the saints who keep the what? Commandments of God. And who's attacking? The dragon. So supported by the dragon, the harlot. And the pure woman is mother of the remnant. And the harlot is mother of harlots. So who's this harlot we are talking about? It's another kind of church. It is not something else, okay? It is not Muslims. It's not Hindus. Here it is talking about two different brands of Christians. So let's be aware of that. So it says clearly that this issue of Babylon in America, what will happen? That history will be repeated. What happened in Babylon? False worship, right? So when we say American Babylon, what is it we should immediately understand? Babylon represents the first kingdom. America represents the last kingdom. It's all about worship, true worship and false worship. And it's about the church. Okay? And then we are taught to come out of false worship. False, Babylon represents what? Everything that's false, not true, fake. Do you hear that word now all the time? Fake news. So, what is it when somebody is doing that? What is it that is being done? An attempt to change reality, an attempt to change truth. Has there ever been time like this before? Could we have imagined like something like this would happen at the highest office of the government? Never, right? In such a short time, they're talking about what? Giving more power to the churches. By who? State. And this can lead to where? Healing of the deadly wound. Pope Francis, they talk about, of course, he may have his own ideas, but ultimately it is predicted to happen. Be aware, be vigilant, and make sure you know the prophecy and you tell others. I would like to ask Brother Roger to correct the offering. Any other thoughts while we correct the offering? Now you understand clearly. America means what? The end empire of the before the end. While it's collecting offering, let me read the final thought here. Satan's attack on God's law is an attack on God himself, both on his authority and on his government. So in the last days, in the climactic events of the final crisis, Satan will be attacking those who keep the commandments of God. For they alone will be refusing to pay homage through his proxies here on earth. The battle that he waged against God in heaven long ago will be continued here on earth. And just as he was defeated in heaven, he will be defeated here on earth. From the very beginning of the great controversy in heaven, it has been Satan's purpose to do what? To overthrow the law of God, to overthrow God's image, or to deface his image. What happened this week? Very sad. 2 well-known people committed suicide. Depression. It's a serious problem. What can it be related to? The mental, the mind, what's going on around us, and what's going in the mind because of that. It's a very sad thing that the image of God has been so defaced that they will not understand their own value. Why? Because maybe they don't know, they don't want to know who they are and whose they are. Let's remember that. It becomes an issue in the end, not about money, but about morality, who you are, your true worth. That's all, right, please. I'll ask Sister Bernadette to offer closing prayer.
Father, we thank you for this lesson study, and we pray that you will help us to study your word more so that we will not be deceived by the enemy. Protect us as we continue this service today, and help us to receive the word from you.